What's up, guys? It is Walker Martinez here with MBT Talk Show.
Christian Tuttle.
And Bryson Val.
Today we have special guest Richie No.
Richie, are you there?
Yes, sir.
All right, what is up, Coach No? So we just have a couple questions for you. One thing we really want to know is when you played at UT, what was the culture like there? You know, how was the team?
It was very senior laden. The guys that played had been around for a while. The old guys kind of knew the ropes, and we had a big brother, little brother system where each senior was given a freshman to kind of take under your wing and mentor and things of that nature. But, Coach Majors didn't play around. He put a big emphasis on, doing the right thing. And, if you messed up once, typically if you were a really good player, you might get another chance. If you were a borderline player, you were gone. So that was kind of the culture.
I like to ask the same thing about Anderson County when he played at AC.
Now, when I played at Anderson County, football was different then. It wasn't a, 8, 9, 10, 11-month-a-year sport. And we did have off-season weights, but we didn't have the same emphasis that some of the other Knoxville schools had. And we were pretty good when I was a sophomore. We were the only two-platoon team in East Tennessee in AA. But once we went to AAA my junior year, we were just a little bit better than a 500 ball club. The culture was good, we were led by great Christian men, sort of like you guys are. It was a big shock for us if we ever heard a curse word from one of the coaches, just like you guys. So it was a good culture. It was a real healthy place to grow up.
All right, that's good to hear. Richie, I got a question for you. After the big Georgia win where you forced the fumble, how awesome was the atmosphere in the locker room after that match?
The year before, we got down by 25 or 30 points to Notre Dame at Notre Dame, and that was probably the best post-game atmosphere I've ever seen in my life. Everybody was just, there'll never be another game like that one. Now, going into the Georgia game, they were ranked somewhere between number 4 and number 8 in the country, and nobody gave us a chance, and we couldn't decide whether it was Heath Schuler or Jerry Colquitt were going to be our quarterback, and so they torched us all day for big yards. But, I did cause a fumble in that game, but I think we forced 6 fumbles on the day, and I think we recovered 4 or 5. So it was really it was a point of emphasis that week in practice. We had to create extra opportunities, and everybody took to it. And they didn't protect the ball the way they should. So, that was twofold. In the locker room, man, it was pretty awesome. We weren't supposed to be there. I bet we were at least 15-point underdogs on the road. They're throwing crap at you all day. Typical Georgia and Florida trash, You know how that is.
Yeah, I know exactly how that is. I got one more question for you, Richie. Out of all your Tennessee teammates, who was your all-time favorite?
My all-time favorite teammate. You love a lot of guys, and like Craig Faulkner came to my wedding, and lots of guys you share life experiences with. I guess the guy that I kind of bonded with almost the most may have been a guy like J.J. McCleskey, who was a walk-on that went on to play in the NFL. And then there was guys like Kyle Heron and Andy Bass, and guys you just spent an enormous amount of time with. I guess, I was closer to those guys, but, sort of always felt a bond with JJ because we were 2 Knoxville kids that walked on.
All right, Richie, just one more question for you. Just what was it like playing for Coach Majors? A lot of guys think of him as the greatest coach at UT ever. So can you just explain to me what that locker room was like with him?
Coach Majors and Coach Fulmer have very incredibly different coaching styles. Coach Fulmer's more of a, hey, as long as you produce, you can do whatever you want to. Coach Majors was more a, hey, listen, if you mess up, you're going to hear about it. You're going to know about it. Now, with that being said, Coach Majors was absolutely awesome to me. He was awesome to a lot of guys. You'll hear guys say that all the time. And Coach Fulmer was good to me, but Coach Majors was an absolute guy that just set an incredible example on how to act and how to carry yourself and how to be a gentleman. And, he taught us if you're not 5 minutes early for a meeting, then you're 5 minutes late. If you don't get there early, he's going to lock the door and then teach you a lesson later. So he was a big mentor and a guy that shaped a lot of guys' lives moving forward.
That's awesome. Now, Richie, that's all the questions we got for today. But before we let you off, we got to hear your prediction for the Tennessee versus Georgia match this Saturday.
See, I don't think Georgia's ready for Josh Heupel. I think Georgia rolls in here, a 20-point favorite, and Josh Heupel's going to put something on him. Ajax won't take off.
That's what I like to hear.
So I'm going to say Tennessee 42, Georgia 26.
Nice. All right, Richie. Well, thank you for joining us.
Thanks, Coach No.
Thank you.
See you guys. Thank you.
All right, that was Richie No, folks. And so then now we're going to start breaking down to some of the local high school football games that are some big-time games this Friday. First off, we're starting with Fulton versus Greenville. Now, on Fulton's side of the ball, they have Chenault, who has 1,064 yards rushing and 14 touchdowns. And then Marmar has 1,150 yards rushing and 16 touchdowns. Now, on Greenville's side, they have Mason Gudger, who has 1,410 yards rushing, 27 touchdowns. And their quarterback, Brady Quillen, is going to have 1,867 yards passing and 23 touchdowns. Now, Greenville's dominated everybody play this year. Everybody knows that. They put 88 on some teams, which people question whether that should be allowed or not. I don't know. Now, I think Fulton comes in this game knowing they're big underdogs, so they're going to give Greenville everything they got. It's a playoff game, win or go home. But I think Fulton has just – it's not enough. It's not enough. I think Greenville comes away with this big 42-21.
Now, Fulton, they got a bunch of ball players. Marmar, he's really shined this season. He's done a great job. And then Greenville, they've got a ton of athletes and Mason Grudger and Quillen, and they also got Jacoby Gillespie at wideout. He's gotten a couple D1 offers this season. He's been doing a great job. And Fulton, they're going to come into this game. They're going to play really well, but I see Greenville just coming out winning by 20+.
Yeah, I think Fulton's a good football team, but I think Greenville's just way too physical. I got Greenville big.
All right, next thing we have is McMinn County is coming up to Powell Country, and they're going to play the Panthers down in Scarborough Stadium. Now, for McMinn County, they have a real stud in their team, Miller, who has 945 yards rushing and 19 touchdowns, but he's also thrown for 1,136 yards. Now, on Powell's side of the ball, they have playmakers all around. They have who, of course, everybody knows, Walter Nolan, number one player in the nation, according to some websites. I don't know if we would agree with that. But Nolan has 20 tackles for loss and 11 sacks.
My input on the McMinn at Powell game. Now, McMinn, they barely got through Oak Ridge last week, and I think Oak Ridge is a different team now than what Powell faced earlier. And I think McMinn is a great team. 1 year they went all the way through the playoffs, but it all got ruined for them. Now Powell, this year they've got ball players all over defense, all over offense. I got Powell winning slightly by about a touchdown or two this week, but I can see McMinn holding up a game with Powell this week.
Yeah, Powell's shown in the past they don't play well late in the season. I think McMinn can keep it close, but I think Powell runs away late.
So next we're going to come to the Ray County versus Karns game. Everybody knows Deshaun Bishop. He's an absolute stud. He's gotten many D1 offers this year. According to Max Preps, he's leading the nation in rushing yards with 2,924 rushing yards and 30 touchdowns. On Ray County side of the ball, they run a wing tee. Now, they've only had a week to prepare for the wing tee, Karns has, and trust me, Anderson County knows very good that only a week preparing for it. It's tough. You're not seeing it all year. It's tough to go against. But now, also to negative on Ray County is that they don't have a good defense. And I think if Kason Huffaker and Darren Patton can get a little connection going on this game, I think Karns come out with this one. But it just depends on those two. I think this game's too close to call.
Ray County versus Karns. Bishop, he's dominated this season. I mean, nobody can get through him. Nobody can tackle him. He's just scoring 6-10 touchdowns a game. And Ray County, they're so fundamental and so good at football. But the wing T, I don't know if it can get through Karn's defense, and I think Karns can really show them what's up on the offensive side. So I see Karns winning this by about 2 or 3 touchdowns.
I think it's low scoring just because, Ray County likes that time of possession a lot. So I think that slows this game down, but I do think Karns pulls it out.
Now, one game we put in here just because we want to cover Alcoa is going to be Gatlinburg-Pittman versus Alcoa. Now, I just see Alcoa blowing this one out of the water. They've won 6 state championships in a row, and they've already beat Gatlinburg-Pittman. And Major Newman and Caden Buckles, I think they have a real good connection going on over there, so I have Alcoa big here.
I don't even have to really get into this. Alcoa is going to blow them out.
Yeah, 3 for 3. I got Alcoa.
All right. Now, next, we have Oneida versus South Green. This is a big game right here. 2 years ago, Oneida traveled up to South Green, and it was close in the game. It was fourth quarter. It was a close game. South Green's up by 4 points, I'm pretty sure. And Oneida's driving the ball down the field. It's 4th and 1. And they don't get it. There's a video of the chain gang moving the sticks. And it's illegal, and it shouldn't have happened. But there's nothing TSSAA could have done. So they put the following year they made a rule where the chains now has to be on the visitor's sideline. So I was looking to come in this game and win it pretty big, but I think the key factor here is going to be Luke Myers, who's a Mr. Football candidate, and he's an absolute stud. So I think just because of him, South Green's going to win this one.
I'm going to have to go with Martinez here. I don't know much about Oneida nor South Green, but I've heard that Luke's had a really big season this year, and he's been a beast, so I'm going to have to go with South Green right here because I don't really know any ball players over there at Oneida, so I'm just going to go with South Green right here.
I'm going to disagree here. I think Oneida goes on the road and gets a big upset win.
Now, that's all we're going to have today for today's episode. Thank you guys so much for listening, but I just want you guys to know, now next week, we have a huge special guest.
Huge.
He also played at UT, like our special guest this week, named Richie No, and that's the only clue I'm going to give, but I think everybody's going to love him. He's going to come join the show and be a great help to us. Now, remember, guys, just to like, subscribe, and if you have a different opinion, comment down below. Martinez out.
Bryson out.
Tuttle out.